G'day everyone, Agent Day here. We're going to do the unboxing and first impression of this Lenovo ThinkPad T14s. It's a 14-inch business class laptop and you're wondering what the S means at the end of the T14. Normally with the S version, it usually means it's a slimline version or it's a cut down version, and it's mostly to do with cutting down the weight. So it's usually lighter than the full-blown version, and I've got a bit of a treat for you. I actually have the T14 with me as well. So I will be doing the comparison of the T14s with the T14, the full-blown version. Now, as you probably might notice, this is the AMD version on both of these. So I actually want to make a big thank you to AMD Australia for actually sending these two products out for me to actually do a review on as well too. So I will be doing the unboxing and I will be creating a follow-up video to do the comparison when I spend a little bit more time on these two computers here. Now, might as well start with the unboxing first. Of course, I've got my good old trusty knife, and let's get it going with it. So let's start this one off first. So let's give it a bit. Oh, there we go. That's one. Since we've got the knife out, I might as well do the other one as well too with me as well. So again, away from the things. Oh, I might have just missed the very top part of it. Even though this is really sharp, I'm still missed it. It's kind of sad, isn't it? That's all right. We'll get there. Anyway, so that's the T14. I'm just going to do the T14s first because I've seen the T14. I have actually done a review video of the T14 AMD version. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it in the link in the description below. That's more about the AMD version versus the Intel version of the T14 anyway. So here we go. Let's might as well start up. So let's bring it out. Okay, let's have a look. All right, so I'm just going to bring this down here. Okay, now as always, who has followed my channel, I love to actually see what's power comes with it. So here we go. Let's pull that power box out. It's good to see everything is cardboard, which is great to see, so it's more sustainable and we're also recyclable. All right, let's bring this stuff out. What do we got? We've got a 65 watt power adapter, and we've also got a 3-prong there, and this is USB-C, so that's great to see. I'm going to chuck this down this side here, and I'll just move that all around there. All right, let's bring this thing out. Let's have a look what we've got here. Oh, okay. We've got some documentations. We don't need any of that stuff. Is there anything else in this box? Oh, we've got something else. I've got the Lenovo adapter, Ethernet adapter there. Sorry, it just took me a little time. I'll just leave that around. Sometimes they come with us, some of them may not. This one just happens to have that. It is sometimes an optional accessory, and I'll just move that all out here. We'll chuck that down here. I'll just quickly flip this around, and here we go. Let's have a look at what we got. Let's slide this out, throw it away. Ooh, definitely nice. Okay, I can definitely see and feel the difference because I have been playing with the T14 a little bit. I can definitely see it feels slimmer than the T14. Now I've got the T14 in there, but the T14s feels a little bit slimmer as well. And I do know it is 200 grams lighter than the T14. I can definitely feel a little bit lighter, but we'll have a direct comparison there. But just the overall feel of this, it is polycarbonate all the way through there, so that's not too much difference. But I might as well bring out the T14 with me so I can actually have a direct comparison straight up with you as well too. So I might as well just quickly unpack this thing here. Oh, I missed that sticky tape there, didn't I? It's all right. That's okay. We'll get through that. Sorry from the shipping. All right. Let's bring that out there. Okay, let's bring this out. Again, T14. Let's bring that out. Okay. Let's bring this out. I can definitely feel already a little bit of thickness compared to the T14. Yes. Got that down here, so T14. Now, first off, I might as well do this comparison straight up. Okay, I'm going to do back to back. Here we go. They actually have a bit of a difference. Not really, actually. I felt like there was, but no, it actually is very similar in terms of the thickness there. And as for, we're going to have the T14 at the back and the T14s at the front. Now, the footprint is the exact same as well. And I don't know if you can see this, but I feel it. I can definitely see it and feel it. There is a different texture between the T14 and the T14s. So the texture difference is the T14s is much smoother in texture wise, whereas the T14, it's a little bit more rougher, like more of a matte look to it and feel to it. So I can definitely see that, and I can straight away see both are getting finger marks, but the T14s gets a little bit more finger marks because of the smooth sort of feel. So it's kind of like your stainless steel fridges where they just attract a lot of fingerprints, and the T14 not as much. It's not a little bit, but like I said, it's got a bit of more of a matte velvet sort of look and feel to it more than the T14s. So that's interesting to see. Now I'm going to do, and I'm going to have a quick look at the one finger test to see the hinge difference. Anyway, let's have a look at that. So T14s, T14. So let's do the hinge difference. Okay, here we go. Oh, they're practically nearly the same. They're both having trouble. So this one does have to take around there, and this one of course goes through here as well too. But let's just do that one more time just to have a look at it just from the standpoint here. Looks like this hinge is more smoother on the T14s than the T14. T14 grips a little bit more. I'll just do one more time just to make sure that it's consistent. Yeah, the T14, just the normal T14 has a little bit more gripping power for the hinge, whereas the T14s is a little bit more smoother there for sure. Now I might as well just have a quick check so you can see this as I open it, and I'm just going to try and lid it. As you can see, when I move it around here, the lid is already kind of opening up on the T14. Now let's see if that's the same for the T14s. Will that do the same thing? It does. It does open up a little bit as you're holding on the hinge side here, so it does open up there. So that's both of them will sort of open up there. All right, now let's have a quick look at the port differences. Let's see if there's any port differences here. So looking on the left hand side, I can see, just having a quick look between the two, we have got missing the micro SD card off the T14s, whereas the T14 does have the micro SD card reader. And looking around the back here, they're practically the same there, and I'm not going to. And we're looking on the right hand side of the computer, whatever side you decide to see. Okay, I can definitely see the T14. There is a bit of a difference. The T14 has the RJ45 Ethernet, whereas the T14s does not have the RJ45 Ethernet. Now, what's really interesting is I'm also seeing a bit of a difference in the taping of the T14s. So I did it back to back. I'm going to actually do this front to front now, and are they actually different? No, they're not much different at all. I thought they just maybe taper it at the front. So they're both, yeah, it's about the same. It's all the way through the same. So I do know with the T14s, so let's open these two up and let's have a look at the keyboard differences if there is any. All right, I'm just doing the opening of there. All right, so what do we got here? Ooh, I can definitely see. So with the keyboards, I'm gonna try and see if I can open this up for you to have a look at. Now, with the keyboard, they're both the exact same sort of ThinkPad keyboard, but there is texture differences between the T14 and the T14s. Now, the texture difference I can see is the T14 here is got smoother texture for each keys, for each buttons, whereas this one's got a bit of a more rougher sort of plastic to the keys on the T14s. Now this I don't think is a difference of the T14s and the T14. Now what I've been told is it's more to do with if you got backlit keys configured in the laptop or not backlit keys. And I can straight away see that the T14 here has a backlight keys here, because I can see the control and the spacebar. I can see the symbol for that there. So that's something there that I can see for the T14 that's being configured. This I haven't configured these two. These are configured by AMD, and this one here does not have the backlight icon here. So this means that this keyboard on this particular T14s does not have the backlit keys. So I have a feeling, and I think one of my comments from a viewer from one of my past videos said the T14, or it doesn't really matter which T14, it seems to be just all the professional series, that the ThinkPad keys or with backlight does have a smoother texture to it, and the non backlit keys have a more rougher feel to each keys. So I've now actually finally I've got one between the two, and I can see it in person. So this is the first time I'm actually seeing that in person. Now as for the trackpad, both the exact same. And this one I've got configured with the fingerprint. This one hasn't, but again, this is all configurable. You can configure. These are very configurable computers here. I can see that the power button's the same, and the power button's the same on this one. Now, what's real, I can straight away see another thing difference here is the speakers. Now, the speakers on the T14 is located on the top here, so I can see the speaker grill, whereas the T14s, there is no speaker grill on the top here. So my guess is the speakers are on the bottom here, which it is. I can see from the bottom here. And I'll just have a quick check on the T14. No, it doesn't have, so the speakers are on the grill here, just as I can see one of the major differences. Now let's have a look at the display here. Is there much difference before I turn this thing on? So there's not much difference in the display. They're pretty much quite thick at the bottom, quite thick and medium thick on the top, and on the sides, medium thickness on the bezel for the sides as well too. So I'll see if I can turn them on. I'll just see if any of these will work. I'll just try and boot them up. We'll just hopefully we'll get some luck out here. Now with the T14s, I do have the Ryzen 7 Pro. This T14 is the Ryzen 5 Pro. Now with the Pro version, it means it has the AMD Manageability Pro built in them. So if you are an enterprise, and you can actually have these managed by your IT department in good big fleets as well. So very similar to the Intel V Pro sort of things there. So I'll put a link in the description below if you want to have a read about the AMD Management Pro anyway. So these are two very good things. Now, I don't think they're both going to boot up, but I will be doing a head-to-head comparison of these two computers, more specifically with the performance as well as the thermals, or the actual temperatures and fan noise on these two computers in my review video. Now the other difference I know internally of these two computers here, with the T14s and the T14s is with the heat pipe that goes from the CPU to the fan is a lot wider. Now I've seen that in the actual service manual compared to the T14. That's a lot more thinner for the actual heat pipe. Now with the heat pipe with the T14 with the discrete graphics, it is a dual heat pipe. Now I think from just having a quick look at the service manual, the dual heat pipe, the actual thickness of it, well, how wide it is about the same wideness of the T14s. Now this is of course both are AMD, so this one here won't have the discrete graphics on the T14, but the Intel version does have the discrete graphics there, so you can actually get that. So that's why that one's got a dual piping, but this one will be the AMD version, so it's only to the wide. So they're both the exact same thing, but that's just to let you know. So of course, the weight difference between the T14 and the T14s is 200 grams. So the T14 is 1.47 and the T14s is about 1.27. And yes, you can actually feel the two differences there. 200 grams, you do feel the difference there. Now the other difference is the T14 comes with a 50 watt-hour battery, whereas the T14s actually comes with a bigger watt-hour battery. It's a 57 watt-hour battery, so it's actually got a bigger battery, so it should actually have more juice as well too for this one here. Now the other thing that you will find that's different is the actual RAM. So with the T14, it actually has one DIMM slot for your RAM, so you can actually upgrade later, and then also has a soldered RAM onto it, whereas the RAM on the T14s is both soldered to the system board here, so you can't upgrade. So you need to make sure you get it configured correctly for the T14s, because you can't upgrade it later, whereas the T14 you can upgrade it later. Now also the maximum RAM on the two is different as well too. So this one, the T14s can go a maximum of 32 gigs of RAM, whereas the T14 goes a maximum of 48 gigs of RAM. So I was going to quickly put up a table of all the two differences between the T14 and T14s, just the physical differences, the capabilities, and hopefully that will help you guys out. Now I will be creating a review video of these up, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to get that notification when I actually do bring that video out. And of course, if you find this video informative or enjoyed it, smack that like button for me. And if you haven't, again, subscribe to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I do try to upload a new video every week. And just remember, imperfections in life makes it beautiful and interesting. I'll see you next video.